Nigel Farage has done something which has gained him a lot of respect from me. He has actually owned not just Prince Harry, the Duke of Cucks, and Meghan Markle, the Duchess of Thoughts, but the whole entire royal family, dead and alive. I thought Nigel Farage, and I'm really starting to like him. I mean, I always sort of liked him. I like any type of populist nationalist. You guys know that I'm not a conservative. I'm not on the left. I'm not any of that. I'm somebody who's fighting for a populist revolution around the world. So Nigel Farage is somebody who I've obviously known about, but I didn't really think of anything of him. And, some of these guys I'm a bit suspect of because a lot of them are also Zionists too, and you all know I don't like Zionism. But I'm starting to like Nigel because I actually thought he was one of those old white, moneyed conservatives who actually liked the royal family. But for him to come out and really roast them, he roasts the Queen Mother, he roasts Prince Charles, he roasts Prince Harry, and the Duchess of Thoughts. A lot of people don't like the Duchess of Thoughts, so, okay, it's not a big deal if you roast her. But for him to go on beyond her and beyond Prince Harry is something that gains a lot of respect to him from me. And this is what happened. And the media is trying to speak this, to play this, like as if it's going to be harmful for him. But anybody who is on my team, anyone who's on the revolutionary team of populism, will not go after Brother Nigel for taking down the royals. And anybody who does, you can jump in the nearest hell right now. But Nigel Farage called Prince Harry the Prince of Wokeness. I just call him. I just call him the Duke of Cucks. Okay, man. Let's not complicate things. But okay. Who has fallen off a cliff since meeting Meghan Markle, it has been reported. The Brexit Party leader also described the Queen's late mother as a slightly overweight, chain-smoking gin drinker. Now, there's a lot of people in Britain who say that Nigel Farage is racist and all those things that they like to call all of our brothers and sisters of the populist revolution. But for him to go after the Queen Mother really should be a sign to people who know anything about the royal family that he's at the very least conscious of who's really racist and who's not. The Queen Mother was a very dirty, despicable, vile, nasty snake of a human being. She's in hell right now. The media portrayed her as some old grandmother who's about to give you cookies and biscuits and chocolate milk. This woman was a racist to her bones. Now, here's the thing. She supported South Africa staying within the Commonwealth back in 1961 when they left, but not because of the fact that the British at the time wanted South Africa to adopt black majority rule, but because she was an imperialist. And if South African white boys and girls decided to put all black folk in South Africa back on plantations and cotton fields, as long as they're in the Commonwealth, it's okay. But it was well known that she was very sympathetic to the Rhodesians and the Rhodesian regime, and she would call people, black folk, she would call them all sorts of things to her friends. She was anti-continental. She was just a very, very elitist, imperialistic human being who was very snobbish as well, even towards people in her own inner circle. She was not a very, I think maybe she even was abusive to her own husband. I think the Queen Mother was Meghan Markle before there was one. She was another commoner out there from Scotland somewhere, some Scottish person. Hey, at least she was an aristocrat, unlike Meghan Markle, who is, I don't know what she is. But she was just another big-headed, vain, just not a good woman to be around, let alone marry. And the stammering guy who became king married her, and he was another weakling, King George VI, who everyone now celebrates for bringing us through World War II, even though before anything, he himself didn't want to go to war against Adolf Hitler. He didn't. But he's supposed to be the hero of war. No, Winston Churchill is the hero of World War II. Winston! Not even Roosevelt. Winston! He was one of the only people on the planet, along with Charles de Gaulle, who saw Hitler for what he was and wanted to get rid of him. But, and I'm not even saying that, that's one of the few exceptions where I would be an interventionist. But let's continue on with this Farage thing. Mr. Farage is said to have made the remarks during a gala dinner at Sydney's Conservative Political Action Conference and focused his criticism on the climate change views of the Duke and Duchess of Sussex. I don't call them that. I call them the Duke of Thoughts and the Duchess. No, the Duke of Cox and the Duchess of Thoughts. And he also went after Prince Charles. When it comes to, quote, when it comes to her, the Queen's son, when it comes to Charlie Boy and climate change, oh dear, oh dear, oh dear, unquote. Mr. Farage is reported to have said in relation to Prince Charles and his succession to the throne. Her mother, Her Royal Highness, the Queen's mother was, we already said that. All I can say is Charlie Boy is now in his 70s. May the Queen live a very, very long time, unquote. Mr. Farage also said to have commented on the Duke and Duchess of Sussex's recent revelation that they want a maximum of 2 children due to their concern about the climate. Quote, well, if I want the Queen to live a long time to stop Charlie becoming king, I want Charlie to live even longer and William to live forever to stop Harry becoming king. Mr. Farage is reported to have added, terrifying. Here was Harry. Here he was, this young, brave, boisterous, all-male, getting into trouble, turning up at stag parties, inappropriately dressed, drinking too much, and causing all sorts of mayhem. And then a brave British officer who did his bit in Afghanistan. He was the most popular royal of a younger generation that we've seen for 100 years. And then he met Meghan, the Duchess of Thoughts Markle, and it's fallen off a cliff. We've been told in the last week that Meghan and Harry will only have 2 children. And we're all completely ignoring the real problem the Earth faces. And that is the fact the population of the globe is exploding, but no one dares talk about it. No one dares deal with it. And whether Prince Harry has 2 kids is irrelevant, given there are now 2.6 billion Chinese and Indians on this Earth. However, Mr. Farage was said to have been more complimentary about the Queen, describing her as an amazing, awe-inspiring woman. We're bloody lucky to have her. So that's basically it. So Nigel Farage has pretty much spoken what, more or less, what I feel about these members of the royal family. To be honest, I think he was a little too harsh with Charles. I actually like Charles, to be honest. Prince Charles. And I like Camilla, too. They're the only 2 I actually do respect. The Queen is all right, but, she has a lot of things to answer for being a head of this family. We won't get into too much of it. But I'm so glad that he was able to, first of all, you know what I'm proud of? I'm proud now that the right, which I don't say I subscribe to, but the right all over the English-speaking world now has the guts to hammer the royal family. They do. Especially the populist right. There was once a time where people who call themselves conservative, one of their big things was, kissing the ass of monarchy. That was one of their big things, It was actually people on the left who would talk the truth about monarchy. Now it's actually people on the left, with the exception of the Corbynites, who are bowing down to the monarchy and to establishment rule and all this stuff like that. So it's almost like a shift has taken place, and I think it's good. I think that's very good. I'm very proud of that. The right is waking up to the monarchy and what they are, but especially the monarchy of today. I mean, it's in complete shambles. I don't think it's going to survive much longer. More and more polls are coming out all over the Commonwealth which say we don't want this strange family, which is not even English, never mind Canadian or Australian or Jamaican, to be our head of state. What is this? We don't have leaders in our country whom we can respect thoroughly, 100%, because they're not head of state. They have to stand behind somebody who is not elected, aka a governor general, and when the queen is in town, they have to stand even farther behind. What is this? We can't respect our leaders. We can't roll out the red carpet for our leaders like America can, because at the end of the day, our heads of state, the people whom you roll out the carpet to of your country, are foreigners. And they're foreigners of the country they're living in the first place. So that's the thing. And I'm glad that Nigel was able to hammer Prince Harry, hammer the Duchess of Thoughts, and hammer the Queen Mother, who's dead in her grave right now. Prince Charles, I think he was a bit too harsh with him. You know, Prince Charles is a climate person. Let him do it. He can't do anything. The royals really aren't that powerful to begin with, you know. Let him continue talking to his plants and doing all sorts of stuff. You know, poor thing, man. I think the guy has suffered too much. This guy was forced to marry Diana. I don't think that was his first choice. He liked her well enough, but it wasn't his first choice. It didn't work out. He loved Camilla from the beginning. I mean, you know, he's not going to be king long anyway. The moment the queen is dead, which I don't know when the queen is going to die. She's probably going to live till she's 102 like her mother. Once she's dead, he doesn't have long after that. He doesn't have long, so let him go. Let him go. But after him, I think it's over. Because if Nigel Farage can say these things, who is somebody who is a British nationalist, and this just goes to show they're on their last legs. And I mean, the Queen, for what we say about the royals, you know, she's easy to respect. Though there are allegations about her of child abuse, Indian abuse in Canada, all this sort of thing. I mean, that's stuff we need to look into. But I'm glad that Nigel, and you know something? For him to do this, I think, goes to show... First of all, I think the UK Conservatives are going away from populism, despite the fact that they have Boris in there and everything. I like Boris. But I think the Conservatives around him, he doesn't have control of that party. Every day, you see a Conservative out there on television bashing Boris. I mean, what is this? He's the leader of the party and they're bashing him. I mean, what is this? And they feel they can get away with it, and they can. So really, he's not in charge of anything right now. So what I'm saying is maybe in the next election, maybe there should just be a minority with the Conservatives and the Brexit Party. I think in this day and age, there's no room for a majority. And here in Canada, I'm not calling for... I've said I wanted a conservative minority, not because I'm a conservative, because they're the only party really that... Really, I mean, people don't like to say, but they're the lesser of the two evils. I think they're all evil, to be honest with you. All the ones who can win. Even less evil than the PPC. I've told you that. And people get angry when I say that. I don't give a damn about you people. You get angry all you want. But that's what I think needs to happen in the UK as well. It needs to be a minority. I mean, I just say kudos to Nigel Farage for coming out against that family. And you may even get a little bit of backlash for it from the old, raggedy old British women. It's usually women with their canes and their wheelchairs. How dare you talk about the royal family? Who you think you are, Nigel? Who you think you are? Come here, boy. Come here, boy. Who you think you are? Let them go. They're all dying anyway. The royal isn't going to last much longer, at least here in Canada. I'm telling you, they're not going to last much longer. After the Queen is gone and Charles is gone, Canada is going to take a long, hard look at this royal thing. They're going to get rid of them. The Caribbean states are going to get rid of them. Australia, all of them. This is the Arana Nation.